This is Miss Hughes, and this is the last of the probability podcasts. Today we're looking at tree diagrams without replacement. The question looks almost the same as the previous podcast. We've got 7 blue counters and 4 yellow counters, but this time we're not taking one counter out and putting it back in. We're actually removing both counters at the same time, and that is very, very important. So we're not replacing the counter, one counter, and then taking another. We're actually taking 2 out at the same time. So it might be a good idea to think of it as maybe taking one counter with your left hand and one counter with your right hand, or taking one counter out first and then another one, but not putting the first one back. So one of the counters could be blue or yellow, and the probability of it being blue is 7 out of 11, yellow is 4 out of 11. Now you've gone this route. The counter that you picked with your left hand, or the first counter you picked, was a blue one. The next counter could also be blue, or it could be yellow. The probability of it being blue, one of the counters, the first counter you removed was blue, so there are only 6 blue counters left. And you also removed a counter, so there are only 10 counters left. If you think of it with a picture, we've got, let's do it up here. So to begin with, we had, is this blue? Yeah. We had 7 blue, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we had 4 yellows, 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you followed this route here, your first counter was a blue counter. Can you see that you now have only 6 blue counters out of 10? And you've got 4 yellow counters out of 10. Same with the other route. If the first one was a yellow, then the probability of, we've got blue, yellow, the probability of getting a blue the second time around, still 7 because we haven't taken out any blue counters, but out of 10. And 3 out of 10. So the number of yellows has been reduced 1, and the total number has been reduced. After that, it's the same process, and hopefully you remember that we want to multiply. And once we have our answer, we're going to add. So find the probability that 2 counters will be the same color. So we can look at this route, and we can look at this route here. Let's get the blue one. So probability of blue is 7 out of 11 times 6 out of 10, which is 42 over 110. Now you might be tempted to simplify this fraction. Tree diagrams is the only topic where I would say avoid simplifying, because you're going to add the fractions afterwards, so it's useful to have the same denominator. Okay, and then probability of yellow is 4/11 times 3/10, which is 12 out of 110. And if we add those two together, our answer is going to be 54 out of 110. Now this is the final answer, so you can simplify that if you want. It would be 27 out of 55, but that answer is also okay. Generally a good idea to simplify though. That is the end of probability.